could be a sign of viral encephalopathies and toxic encephalopathies. So heavy metals, lead, aluminum, or even fluoride. So you have to be aware of what's in the environment for that person. The frontal central theta relates to memory, relates to emotional processing. And it's got a really important characteristic that it's normally medication resistant. So the excess theta vertex activity that correlates to OCD, those clients respond poorly to medication. So other options are neurofeedback or transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TDCS, transcranial direct current stimulation. So there are other ways to get that there, because the medication usually doesn't reach those centers. Now, sometimes anxiolytics would work, but again, not for all clients. It correlates with ADHD, so it's a subtype of ADHD, it's a subtype of OCD. It has to do with cognitive flexibility. So stubborn people, obstinate people, those who are really rigid mentally, will have an anterior cingulate cortex problem. It has to do with rumination and fretting again, adapting to the environment, conflict detection, conflict scanning. So when it's not working healthy, is the people who are always looking for trouble. Is a person who walks into a room and tells you something that will upset you just because he wants to upset you. It's the client who's seeking comfort, who gets fed by seeking comfort. Always looking to pick a fight. And it could be a TBI, or it could be that the anterior cingulate cortex is just dysregulated. And also a marker for anxiety. So for the theta, if there's slowing, there's hyperarousal. We can see it in autism, we can see it in TBI, we can see it in ADHD. And during go, no-go tasks, there's slow synchronization, meaning the network is not turning on. All right? Now for ADHD, again, you have inattentive, you have hyperactive, or dysfunction, right? What's a comorbidity? So what are some of the things that you will see presenting alongside ADHD? You're going to see oppositional defiant behaviors. So there's that kid who refuses to follow authority, who has a problem following orders. ADHD goes hand in hand with anxiety. ADD, ADHD clients, for the most part, will also present with anxiety. Okay. It correlates with depression. If everybody thinks I'm stupid, if my parents are, bugging me at home, and the teachers are bugging me at school, and I go to the psychologist and he reminds me that I'm ADHD, well, I'm gonna get depressed. Who likes being told that they're stupid all the time? They're different, So that will get you to get depressed. And about 20 to 25% of ADHD diagnoses are really a sleep disorder. So that's why we look at the eyes closed G2. So it's not too much theta, it's not too much delta, it's a sleep disorder. So we need to discern and categorize them, because the intervention, a successful intervention, is going to depend on a good assessment. Okay? It correlates with learning disorders. When you cannot focus, you cannot learn. It's hard to learn something new when you cannot focus. And it correlates with substance abuse, especially in teenagers and adults. They tend to self-medicate. They self-medicate with any kind of medication, or they can self-medicate with marijuana, or they can self-medicate with alcohol. And I've been getting a lot of ADD adult clients who use marijuana to help them sleep better, to help them focus, to help them relax. Now, it's understandable, yes, but we don't want them to overuse the marijuana because then we're going to have a whole lot of trouble. Because then that peak alpha frequency is going to drop. So they're going to get relaxed, but they're going to lose their smarts. So categories for the DSM-5. Again, and I have this here because it's important. So often fails to give close attention to details or making mistakes. Often has difficulty sustaining attention, passive activities. You know, I think we all have some of that to some degree. Does it make us ADD? Different story. So that's why we look at the brainwaves. We look at the theta beta ratio. And the theta beta ratio is good to assess a maturational lag, meaning is that person maturing according to his or her age? Is maturing according to what you expect for the age group? If not, well, then you're going to have an immature person, both behaviorally and cognitively. So it's a good assessment. And again, it's not a diagnosis, it's prognosis, meaning how well will the person get? Okay, we're not trying to diagnose anything. I want you to try to get that as clear as possible. You're not diagnosing. Okay, you're doing prognosis. So, slow wave brainwave axis, maturational lag. That's very important. Is the person mature at the neurological level according to their age? Yes or no? So we look at those. This is important. So, sources for ADHD. Some kids will have epileptiform activity, and they will never have a seizure in their lives, but they're ADD. Hyperarousal, of course. Frontal lobe hypercoherence, limbic system dysregulation. Again, maturation lag. A dysregulation in the default mode network. Low frustration tolerance. So those are things that can either cause or can be the consequence of, the byproduct of. And we'll review those when we get to that, okay? So that's a touch on that. And we have 5 minutes left, but let's go into a break now so we can come back a little earlier and get into the other material, okay? How are we doing so far? Everything good? Yes? No? Maybe? Okay, good. If I'm going too fast, let me know. If there's something you want me to repeat, please let me know. The important thing is that you learn. Okay? I'm not happy if you're not happy, all right? So let's take a break and then we'll continue.